if you run a recruitment agency and you're struggling to get new clients, this might be the system that you would want to have. But here's a system that is going to find your clients when they post a new job. So that means you're meeting them at the point of their need, right? So what happens here is that whenever clients go to maybe like a job board, whatever job board you're tracking, say Indeed, Glassdoor, Atsuna, whatever you're tracking, right? So whenever clients go there to post a new job, you can use that information to set your own database of candidates to see the candidates that you have that could be a perfect fit for that job, and then you pull that up and then reach out to the reach out to the clients and be like, oh, I see that you are recruiting for this job. I have the perfect candidates for you. Can we talk? That way you're able to get your clients and then of course make that placement money from your candidate or the company itself, if depending on whatever you know metrics you work with, right? So let's just go into a breakdown of what this system. So first off, this system watches, like I said, for when jobs have been posted in a particular job board that you are tracking. So say Indeed, Asuna, Glassdoor, whatever you're tracking, right? So once what it does is that it extracts the particular it extracts the particular job that that you specialize in. So if say you are maybe a recruitment firm or an executive search recruitment company, or what like any kind of company that you just have, whatever you recruit for in your agency, it's what is going to be searching for those particular jobs when they get posted. So it's not searching for everything, right? So what it does is that it uses AI to analyze it and see if it's even a good fit for your company. It has details about your company, so AI is going to use that to analyze if it's even a good fit for your company. If it is a good fit, then it goes ahead to create that opportunity for you in your if it's a good fit, then it goes ahead to go into your database or your ATS. At this point, I use a table as my database just for these test purposes, but you can use your ATS to track this. So it will just directly go into your ATS to find the perfect candidate for the role, getting the requirements, the skills, everything that was written on the job post. So it's going to use that to to search up all the candidates and bring up all the candidates here, and then AI will use the best candidate, search for the best candidate, right? And then that's the best candidate, the one that has like a job field in what you are looking for, because maybe you could be recruiting for different roles like mid-level role, senior level role, intermediate role. So it's going to find the best candidates that fit into the job, the job title right up front, and that best candidate now gets fed into the system, and then we are now able to score them and match them to the role. And if the candidate is a very perfect fit for us, what we do is we now go in and create them in a record for us, where we can call like the opportunities or something. That's a new gigs that we might have. So it puts them there for us, creates a message that we are going to send to them, and also goes ahead to create the turn that message. Also goes ahead to tell us how we can start conversations with them, as well as writing the message that we need to get in touch with them, and it puts that all in that record for us. So once we go there, we can see the candidates that have been matched to this particular opportunity, and then the hiring manager of that particular in charge of that particular job, or the company that posted it, and all of that, the key person that we want to speak with, it has all of that information, and then it drops it for our recruitment or recruiters. Then it drops it for our recruiters on Slack. So we just go in and review that, pick our best fit. So every morning, say this can run every morning and give our recruiters opportunities that that's clients, right, that they can reach out to, or prospects in this case, that they can reach out to. And who knows, if we have like 5 opportunities, it can turn to 2 businesses or even one, right? And that is a good way to also be able to cut down the time that it takes us to research, find clients, and all of that. And this also even gives us clients at the point of need, not just clients that, oh, when are they hiring? These ones are actively doing what they need our help for. So we can as well just cut the chase and go straight to business, right? So yeah, let me just show you how to build this step by step. We're going to be building this, just a replica of this in this video. So I used Make to build this. So for you to get started, just come into your Make and create your scenario. So for you to get started, the first thing that you want to do is be able to get data from the job board. So whenever, every morning you are able to search the job board to get newly posted jobs or recently posted jobs. So what we are going to use to be able to do that is a module called HTTP. So we want to make a request. So our authentication type here is no authentication, but then the URL is where we are going to, a lot of configuration comes in here, and it might be different for you depending on, the jobs and the job board that you're tracking, right? So we can have, I'm trying to use Adsuna. Yeah, this one here, that's what I'm trying to do, right? And it's mostly I think it's a prevalent job board for in the UK, but you can use whatever job board you prefer. Indeed, whatever you prefer still works well. So what you're going to do now is put in our configuration for this Adsuna, right? Adsuna, if we are trying to track from this Adsuna, it allows you to have like an API page where it gives you API connection, and you'll be able to establish your API connection to with this, which is a great thing. I guess that's why I chose it. But I feel like Indeed and other Glassdoor also would have that, where you are able to create like APIs and connect to that. So you should check that out depending on what you're using, or talk to your dev about it. Like I always say, whatever I show here is just ideas that you can refine to fit into whatever tools that you currently have and how you currently work, right? So the first thing that we want to do here is, of course, search for jobs. Right. To say we do, okay, let's say we do digital marketer, and for some reason I don't put the city. I just want to be able to get the URL, right, where the jobs are posted. You can see here, this is the URL. The URL is www.azuna.co.uk/jobs/search, right? That's the URL where we are able to search the jobs, and that's what we want to put here, right? So we're going to go in and copy this. Of course, the query here is digital marketer, so that might not be what we are looking for. So we are just going to put in the exact URL here. And the method here is going to be get, because we are getting information, so we do not need to change this. Oh, I just remembered something. That's not where I'm supposed to get the search from. So I'm supposed to get it from their API at Sona API page. They always provide everything there. So if I come to, where is it now? Yeah, if I come here, then I come to overview here. I'm able to see, everything I should use here. The root URL is here, and everything I need basically is here. So here is what I want to copy as my URL, right? So this is my URL. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to put this as my URL. Again, the method is a get, right? Again, the method is a get, and I don't need headers, but I need query parameters, which is going to be my app ID, my API key as well, which if you come here, if you come to this account, you'll be able to find it. But the problem is mine, like I said, it's a secret key, so I'm not supposed to show that. So I will not show trying to set that up, right? So what I'm going to show you is what you do is, once you have here, what you do is app key, you put the key here, API key, you create another parameter, API key, you put the key there, and that is what you want to do. So I'm just going to go and do that, and then move over to, so now that we are done putting in those two parameters, the next thing we want to do is define the remaining things, like the results that is to return, the exact jobs it should search for, and all those kind of things. So the first thing that we're going to do is the results per page. Just for this test purpose, I'm going to do 5, but for you, you can return as high as 10, 20, whatever, just so it will be faster and it will give you more opportunity opportunities, because of course you are reaching out to them, so you have to reach out to more people. The more people you reach out to, the most likely that one of them or two of them are going to, grant you audience, right? It's like code pitching, but this one you already know their pain points, so you're pitching with their pain points. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is, the exact job. So I'm going to do things like maybe like what. So what's here is going to be like, what job am I trying to get? So I can do digital marketer here, right? The next thing I'm going to do is where. That's going to be my location. So if you are location specific with the kind of roles that you help, clients recruit for in your agency, you might need to put this. So I'm just going to put the okay here. And I think that's about it, right? I think that's about it. Okay, I think the last thing that I'm going to do here is add my content type, and I'm going to add it to be application slash JSON. And yeah, I'm going to leave everything as it is. This works well, so I'm just going to save this. And I'm going to go ahead and save this, right? So the next thing that I want to do here is add an iterator, right? So because it's going to extract 5 for me, I want it to iterate through each of them. Iterator, right? That's what they call it. Iterator. So I want to add that so that it can, iterate over, or iterate, whatever you like to call it, or iterate through each of the I want to add, so the next thing I'm going to do is add an iterator, because I think it's going to extract 5. So I want it to iterate through, each of them and get, go through each of them one by one till it's done running. So I need the iterator. So I'm just going to go to this flow control here, and I think I should find it. Yeah, here it is. So what I'm going to do here is add the data that comes from here. And I'm going to save this, right? And of course I can't put that as my last module, so I'm going to add another module. So just even before we even proceed, let me run this so that I would see what my extract looks like. So you can see here that it has extracted data and then results for me. It has extracted the 5 digital marketers that I'm looking for. It's collaborating with these to connect them with exceptional professionals and digital marketers. So I'm going to come here now, and I think so now I'm going to be iterating the result here, because that's where everything is. If I just iterate data, it might be a problem. So I'm just going to iterate the result here. That's data result, right? So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save this. I will save anyway. The next thing I'm going to do is get my AI module. So what I need this AI module to do is extract all the details for me, like the job title, the company that is doing it, the description, everything. I wanted to extract everything in an orderly or more like clear way for me, so that I can, the rest of the modules can work with that. So I'm going to do OpenAI here, and I want to generate a completion. Of course, my connection already exists, so I'm going to be working with that. If yours does not, just go to online help, you'll be able to establish your own connection, right? So the model here, I like to go lower for test purposes or test purposes like this. So I'm going to do 4 mini, and then my first message is going to be the system message, right? So I'm going to do here, I'm going to put this. I'm going to do, you are an expert recruitment agency business development analyst. Your job is not to simply analyze whether a candidate could perform this job. Your primary objective is to determine whether this vacancy represents a potentially valued new client opportunity for a recruitment agency. A recruitment agency wants to identify companies that are actively hiring, have roles that are difficult or valuable to fill, are likely to benefit from external recruitment support, match the agency's candidates network, give agency a great, anything that works for you, right? This is just me, drafting my own prompt. But like I always say, the better your prompt, the better your output. So make sure that your prompt is fail proof, right? Your prompt is good enough. So the next thing that we want to do is add the user details that it needs. Excuse me. So here's what my own user details would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and make these changes here. I'm just copying it from the already existing setup that I did, just so I don't waste time. So the first one I'm looking for is the job title here. So I can see not the display name of the location. Where is it though? Mm, yeah, so I can see the title here, and then the company, right? You can see the display name of the company there. The location, you can see the location here. You can see the display, name that is showing there. Then this minimum salary, you can see it here. Then the maximum salary, What is it? You can see it here. Then the job description, you can see it here. The job category, you can see the tag here. And then the redirect URL, you can see it here. Then the date it was posted, you can see it here, right? So we are going to extract all of that details as a JSON here, and we also tell you to tell us the hiring signals. Is this a difficult role, and what is the reason? Are agencies like us going to benefit from pitching, to this company that is hiring this role? Then it's going to return all of those details that we need. But of course, yours can be different. You can be looking for different details like, oh, how can we come in and help? All those kind of things as well. So depending on what you want to extract, that's what you want to put in here, right? So we are going to go ahead and extract all of those details, and then we save this. And of course, always, I don't know why this thing likes showing this, right? It just likes being saved twice. So we save this, and of course, we always going to remember to save the entire workflow. So because we told it to extract everything as a JSON for us, we're going to go in and create our JSON. If you don't know how to create your JSON now, just go to JSON here and go to past JSON, right? So I already have my own data structure existing. I don't want to keep creating the same data structure. But if you don't have your own data structure, right, just do this. Come here, come to see what we have, the exact structure, this exact structure. Just copy from these braces to the last one, like here. And then once you come back into your JSON, click on add, and of course you can rework the name, then click on generate. Once you click on generate, put in that data that we copied, and it will automatically generate all the fields for you. And once you have that, you just go ahead and save your setup, and your data structure has been created, so you can work with that. So my own data structure is called job board data structure. Yes, I'm just going to work with that. And then the JSON string here is going to come from the last concluded run. And I'm going to save this. And of course, I'll always remember to save this. So the next thing I want to do here is search my database for candidates, right? So my own database is an Airtable database here. So that's what I will be working with. That's where I have like demo data about my candidates and all of that. But yours can be a bit different. It can be just connect directly to your ATS. It will still work well. You can use an HTTP to connect to your ATS, and you would still get the same output, right? So we are going to be searching our record right now to find our candidates, right? So I will be using again my Airtable. So my own connection already exists. If yours doesn't, just go to online help. You see the documentation on how to set up your own connection if you're using Airtable, but if you're using your ATS, then it's going to be a different route. So my own connection or my own database is called candidates database. The table I'm looking for is my candidate. So like I said, I'm searching for a particular type of candidate. So I'm searching for candidates that have not been placed, right? Because in our candidates database, which is like the one database that has all of our candidates, right? You're going to have candidates that we have placed, candidates that we are yet to place, candidates that we are interviewing. So the candidates are going to be in different stages of their recruitment journey. So we only want to target candidates that have not been placed yet, right? So my own, what I named it in my own, database is rejected. So I rejected them for the previous job. So they're pending, being placed to, or they're waiting to be placed to a new job, right? So that's what I will be searching for. But depending on what you call them, maybe you call them pending, or you call them about not yet, or whatever segmentation name that you use for them, that's what you want to search for here. That's what you want to filter by here. So my own filtration is the status, right, is rejected, right? That's the candidate stage status is rejected. So that's what I will be working with, because that's what tells me that, oh, that candidate has not been placed to a new job yet. So I'm going to be doing rejected here. And for this test, I just want to return two at a time. But of course, you can return as many as you prefer. So you save this and then you save this, right? So the next thing that we're going to do now is call our AI module. Okay, just before we do that, we're going to get the best fit here, because you can tell that, if we are scraping and then we get 10 jobs, there are some jobs like the first one that we saw that is already being handled by a recruitment agency, so we do not need to go in again. So it's just, so we need the AI to return, best fit as well. So that way, if we are only going to proceed with opportunities that are best fit, maybe the company is the one actively recruiting themselves, so we can easily help them with, oh, we have more candidates to give you, we have the best candidates to give you, right? So we also have to put that into consideration. So that's why we need this filter, right? So we are going to be setting up our best fit filter here. So what we're going to be doing is, if So if the agency opportunity score here is, let's say, maybe greater than or equal to, let's say, 70, so that means that, okay, an agency can really come in and really help them, so there is a potential here. So we can do 70, and we can do an or and rule, sorry, not or. Then we can do, and if the role opportunity or the role difficulty is like maybe below 60, or sorry, above 60, so we are going to do numeric here, and we'll do come down here to greater than or equal to, we can do 60 for this one. So if the role is difficult to fill, right, so if, because already we have established that a lot of agencies or a lot of companies like to hire recruitment agencies for roles that are much harder for them to fill themselves. So that's why we are looking for roles that are also hard, so that we can tell them that, you know what, the market is doing, like this role is hard to find or hard to fill, so let us help you fill it. And we already have candidates waiting to be interviewed for this role, right? So I feel like it will also help the offer to be a bit more juicier and make them more irresistible. But of course, you can, change some of these things around here. So we are going to go ahead and reserve this. So now it's only going to proceed with the jobs that are a good fit for us, or with the clients that are a good fit for us, right? So now that we have searched a database, right, we are going to go in now to use OpenAI to match the candidate, right? So we'll do OpenAI, and then we'll do complete, generate a completion rather. And of course, I'm still going to be working with my existing connection. So the model here, I like to go lower. So I'm going to be doing form. So my first message is going to be the system message, which will look something like this. And my second message is going to be a user message, which I will just copy from here, just so I do not waste so much time trying to write this myself. So I'll just put this in here, right? So I'm going to fix up the mapping here. So the first one I want to do with the job is going to be the job title, which I can always get from here, the display name, which I can always get from the company name, the location, which I can always get from here, and then the job description. I need to get that from here, so I'll do this. But of course, if the, and then the candidate details, right, I will take it from here, the job that they applied for, which is, sorry, their current title, like what's the role that they currently are trying to get filled for. And then we'll do the location, and then we'll also do their skill set here. We also do like years of experience here, and then we'll also do like salary targets. I mean, everything that you basically just want is what you want to match it against, and like the information that you have with about or about your candidate is what you would be looking to do here. And then we'll do like the resume summary or something, whatever we prefer, right? So we save this, right? So we save this, and of course, always remember to save this. But of course, like I said, we don't want to send all our candidates here to be matched. We want to send specific ones. So we want to select the best candidate. So whatever they're getting, right? So if they're doing like senior digital marketer, we also want candidates that are senior. We also want candidates that are senior marketers, right? We don't just want to send like marketers down there. And another thing is the fact that we are going to have a lot of candidates if we are recruiting for more than like one, specialist, or specialist, or what do we call it, one more than one specialization. Like you're recruiting for maybe say digital marketers and creative directors, or say digital marketers and content writers, right? Those are the ones that, so it's going to be that you have a database of both of them, right? The same database for all of these. So we only want to select the candidates that are best fit. So if we are recruiting for digital marketers, we only want to select candidates whose role are digital marketers in our, in our ATS, right? We don't want to, to pass candidates that are maybe like in another specialized firm, or in another, area of specialization that we cover. So maybe we cover like say finance and what else? Say we cover say HR and maybe finance, right? So we are going to have one database that takes care of all of these. So we don't want to push candidates to all the candidates that we have in both HR and finance to pass through a finance job. So we only want to take candidates for finance to pass through for finance job. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So the condition here is going to be if the job here That's the role that the candidate currently is looking for. Content. We're going to use content here because I mean it can be a different nomenclature. We can say senior digital marketer, or they can say digital marketer senior role. All those kind of things. So it might not necessarily be a direct equal. We just need something that contains. So we're going to say content case insensitive, and then we're going to be looking at the job role here, or that's the job title. That's what we want to name it against. Or if you would prefer to name it against the job title here, that also works well, because of course it's the same thing that was so we go ahead and save this, and that is going to be our base candidate. So the next thing that we want to do is extract our JSON, of course, so that we can use this to create our opportunities. So we're going to do JSON here, and we're going to pass a JSON. Of course, the same method still applies, but since I already have mine, I'm just going to select from this. So mine is called candidate matching, or candidate something. Yeah, candidate matching data structure. So I'm just going to put in my result here, and I'm going to save this, right? And I'm going to save this. So once we are done extracting our JSON here, the next thing that we want to do is create our record. So we want to create our opportunity to, so that once we have that, our recruiters can always go and look at that, pick up, details about them, and then, start researching about them, or start, reaching out to them, right? So this is what my own opportunities looks like. So we have like the ID, the company name, the job title, the job URL, the location, the salary, agency, like every other thing here, right? It's like you can decide what you want to put in here. It's really not like it's not tied to always being like this, but just have an opportunities database where you put in all these opportunities that you have been able to get, so that way your recruiters are able to track which one is working, which one did not, pull through, which one, all of that, right? So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to create my record. So I'll create a record here, and my base is going to be the candidates database again, and my table is going to be the opportunities table here. So I'm just going to go ahead and match everything that needs to be matched. So at first, the company will come from here, and the job title will come from here. The job URL, okay, I'll just get it from the set, which is going to be the redirect URL here, and the job location, I'll get it from here. The salary, I can do like min max, right? So I can do like min. So I can do like min, or sorry, max. Then I can do like, then I can do min, right? Why am I mixing this thing up? Why? Okay, I took max twice. So this is min and that's max, right? So the opportunities core here, I'll just take it from here. Then the role difficulty, I'll just take it from here. The urgency, I'll take it from here. Then the reason to contact, I'll take it from here. The candidate's name is going to be from the last one here, because that's the record that we are working with. And then the candidate match core is going to come from the last one. And the candidate summary will just come from this match summary. The likely decision maker, although we don't have that, we might not be able to get that directly, but let's just say we are able to get that, right? And the status here, we're going to always put them as, lead identified, right? So the date found is going to be now. When we are running this, that's when we found them. And then the outreach status here will be like not started, and the email subject and the email body, we have not gotten that yet. We're going to update that as we go forward. So yeah, that's what you're going to have. Of course, you can switch up some things here to better fit your own structure. So we save these, and we save this, right? So the next thing I'm going to do here now is, like I said, to get the email structure and also get the LinkedIn outreach that we are going to send to them, right? So now we are going to call our OpenAI, but one thing that we did put in here is going to be the best fit, right? So what we want here is going to be the candidates that are the best match for this particular role. So we're going to do like best match here, and then we're going to do we're going to do if the match score here is anything below 60. Any candidates that is below 60 might not be like the best candidates, so we are just going to do anything greater than or equal to, let's say, 60. Of course, you can change the number. So we save this. So now it's only candidates whose score against the job is as high as 60. That's when we know that, yeah, this candidate is really good for this job, so we are going to go in with that. So once we're done with that, we're going to put our OpenAI module, which is going to draft the message that we're going to use to reach out to them. So we want to generate a completion here, and I'm just going to go to the previous setup to copy the the message, right? So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be going down with my model as usual. I just like to go lower because I'm testing this. I don't want to be running through so many tokens, right? But for your own case, you might want to go a little bit higher just so the output can be more reliable. So that's what I'm saying here. I'm saying that, it's to help me start genuine conversation with the company and all of that. Whatever you just want, just make sure that your prompt is foolproof, your prompt is good, very good, because the better your input, the better your output, right? So we do add here, and then our next message is going to be the user message. So I'm just going to copy the user details from here. So I'm just going to put this here, and I will do the mapping here. So the company, I can always take them from here now because I mean we have created them, we have them now, so we can always work with that. And then the job title, and then the location. Uh, the location is this. The location is this. The description is down here. The role difficulty is going to be here. The score is going to be here. The reason to contact is going to be. Mm -mm. I thought I had a reason to contact here. Yeah, I have. The candidates match core is going to be here. Candidate summary is going to be here. Candidate availability, we didn't really catch that in this particular setup. So where we are going to catch that is going to be yeah, here, right? We didn't catch that here. I mean, yeah. So likely decision maker, we have that here. So we're going to just, this is what we are going to be getting, and this is like the extracts that we want, right? The LinkedIn handle and everything. So it's just going to give us like a strategy to reach out to them, right? So we save this. So since we now have the strategy on how we're going to reach out to them, the next thing to do is to create our messaging that we want to reach out to them with. So we are going to use OpenAI again, and I'm going to be generating a completion. So I will generate a completion here. And for my model, I will go a little lower as usual. So I'll do 4 mini. I think I always prefer to do like the mini system. Yeah. So my first message is going to be the developer and system message. So I'll just copy it from here. So I'm just going to put this in here. And what am I saying? I'm saying you are an expert recruitment agency business owner, copywriter. Write a concise, natural B2B outreach to a hiring decision maker. And the recipient is already hiring for a role described below, and all of that, right? So we're going to add the user message here, which has the agency instructions and the strategy and every way that we try to reach out to them. So we're going to write an outreach here. So we're going to do this. So we're going to put this in here. Of course, you can always rework this to a better way to fit how you're currently working. So that is really not, I don't know the word I'm looking for now, but you can always rework this basically. So the job URL, okay, yeah, job URL, job location, hiring manager. We might not even get this detail here, but just in case it's publicly available, and the value proposition will come from here. That's like the strategy that we have, what you're proposing to them, right? And then the reason to contact will come from here, what we got previous. So we do reason to contact, and then the candidate teas are like important things about the candidate that we must know. So we can do like strong matches, or we do anything here that makes us, maybe like recommended here or something like that. No, I think not missing requirement. No, not consent, nope. So something like match summary is going to be like a teaser for us, because we are like, oh, this candidate has done this, done that, done that. That's how we're able to say it's a perfect match for you and all of that, right? So once we have that, we can save this, and we can save this, and of course we save this, right? So the next thing that we're going to do is going to be the JSON extraction. So we're going to extract our JSON so we can feed the remaining details, like the email, the email body, of course, the email subject, the LinkedIn message that we'll be sending to them, all of that back into our opportunities database. So we need a JSON here, and we're going to pass JSON, and my own data structure already exists. So I think it's called candidates what message data structure. So my result is going to come from here, my JSON string rather. So I'm going to, of course, save these. The next thing I want to do is create or update my database. So I'm going to be updating the database to put in the new details that I now have into it. So my database is going to be candidate database, and then my table is going to be the opportunities table. And then my record ID, of course, is going to be the record that I just created from my A table here. And then, of course, we already have the company and every other thing. So the only thing that we want to update now is going to be the email, which is going to be the subject here, and the body here, and the LinkedIn message here. That's what we want to update. So we're going to go ahead and we save this. And we save this. So the last thing that we're going to do here is notify our recruiters on Slack so that they can go and look at this opportunity and try to reach out to the established connection and see how we can make our money. So we are going to do Slack here. I mean, you can switch this for whatever communication tool that you currently use, say Asana, not Asana. I don't think people communicate or teams communicate more with Asana, but whatever, ClickUp, whatever, communication tools that you basically do right now to track communication. So you say Teams, whatever, works. But I just feel like a lot of teams use Slack for communication. So send a message here. That's what we want to do. My own connection already exists. If yours doesn't, just go to online help. You'll be able to establish yours, right? So we are going to select from the list. So of course you can send it to a particular recruiter, or you can send it to recruiter's channel. So let's say we send it to the recruiter's channel. So we can say like, oh, there is a new opportunity to maybe chase or to look at. So we can provide all the details here, like company name. Sorry, we can do like company name here. We can do like job title. So job title, whatever basically do we just want to do here. We can do best fit or something, or we can do like whatever we basically just want to do here. We can go ahead and do that. So once we are done doing this, we just save this, right? We save this. Oh my god, what did I do? I think I just undo whatever I did. So we just go ahead and save this, and of course we save this. So now our system is ready. If I also align this is what we currently have. If I try to run this one time, I don't think I'll be able to get through to it. Reason being that I have a demo data set, so I cannot use a demo data set against an actual real, job description, because it's not going to have a lot of the things that needs to be had in a typical candidate. You're going to have things like their skills and all of that, which I currently don't have. So I don't think it will run through. But let me just show you a typical way of how this would run. I mean, if you have actual data of candidates here, you'll be able to run this out successfully, but I won't, because I don't have like actual candidates information here, which you might understand that I shouldn't be doing that because of privacy reasons, because I'm not a recruiter, so I can't have that, right? So I'm just going to go in and then run this with the existing data. Just so I'll stop. Okay, let's just say I'll run this with, just run this one time so that you can see how it behaves. So you can see that it's currently iterating right now. So it's searching to see if that job is a good fit for our agency, if it's a good fit for a job that a recruitment agency should take up. And then it has not been able to find the best candidate here for the role, because as you can imagine, I don't think I have a digital marketing or whatever in my digital marketing. Yeah, that's what we are searching for. I don't think I have a digital marketing role in my database, so it's not going to go through. So it just stops here. right? But if I had one, it would just pass through and then create the opportunity for me, and then of course notify my recruiters on Slack. So you see, it keeps going through, but I don't think I have any digital marketer here. Yeah, I don't have any. So you see, it's not going to work for me, right? So if I did have digital marketers, it would work perfectly for me. So this system is working perfectly fine. If you have any questions trying to set this up, you can let me know in the comments. But this system is going to help you identify new opportunities of clients that are actively recruiting or actively hiring, that you can easily reach out to with your own existing candidates, like, oh yeah, I have candidates for you for this particular job that you're trying to hire for, so let's talk about this. And 9 out of 10 times those agencies or those companies are going to respond to you. Reason being that you already have solutions to your problem, so they're just going to take you, and you go in and give them the candidates, and of course you'll be able to make your placement fee. So I really hope you found this useful. If you did, you can subscribe to this channel, like this video, and if you have any questions around this, you can drop it in the comment section. If you want something more personalized for your recruitment agency, you want to speak to me about it, you can book a strategy call with me. The link is going to be in the description. Thank you so much for sticking around. I will be seeing you in my next one.